Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be ranking the Realm of the Mad God classes on easiest to play for newer players. And the ranking system is going to be with how easy their ability is. I am going to take into consider their range, because as new players, typically you want to be a little bit further from the fight, but I know new players that prefer a short-ranged character, so I will say the best for each weapon type, and I'll try and have the best weapon type in God tier, or at least in Great. Some characters are just super easy to play for new players. Now, you're gonna have to unlock probably a lot of the characters. That's pretty simple. All you do is just get the certain classes to level 20, and you'll unlock every single one of them eventually. You'll also be able to hover over the class in the menu, and it'll tell you what you need to unlock it. I believe that's how it works. They may have changed it. That's how it used to work. Starting off, this is an immediate S tier. Summoner. Oh my god, Summoner is easy mode. Okay, Summoner is easy mode. You do massive damage. You're a wand class. It's long range, so you're away from the fight. Which means shots are a bit more spread out. They're a little easier to dodge. It is a little squishy. You do massive damage with your summons, especially if you go for the Celestial Mace that drops in Sprite World pretty rarely, so you're gonna have to run it quite a few times to get it, but it's so worth it. Now, Samurai uses a katana, so you have decent range. You have pretty good range. Except the biggest problem I have with this character, over half the time, like 98% of the time, I could not see where my ability was hitting. The ability just blends so much into the ground. If that does not bug you, it's like low C tier. It's like C tier, maybe, but like it's more here. But as a new player, you're probably going to want to see where that's going. And it's really hard, especially when there's a lot of bullets flying. So do not play the Samurai. It's a pretty straightforward ability. You just right-click and it just swipes across the screen. These are just my opinions on the classes. The Mystic is really good if you're rushing dungeons. But as a new player, you're probably not going to be rushing any dungeons. Or if you are, it's going to be like Pirate Cave or one of the very easy dungeons that you can run past and you won't take much damage at level 20. So I would not recommend this character because its ability will do stasis, and stasis can be a great ability. And the Mystic, I do see how fun it could be, but you're going to have to put in the time to learn that ability and more be a mid-game player. Next, we have the Paladin. The Paladin is a sword class, the shortest range, and I'm going to put it in S tier for the fact that it is a healing tank. Your ability is to heal you and other party members. I do believe it does damage as well, but it's not like significant damage, but you still damage. It has great survivability, especially if you want to be a short-ranged character or more comfortable with short-ranged or tankier characters. Next, we're going on to Sorcerer, which is another wand class. And honestly, I'm gonna say it's great. I would put it in S tier, but I'm gonna put it in Great just because we already have a wand class. The Sorcerer's ability is like a chain lightning effect. You don't have to be too precise with it. So it is really good. It's got pretty good survivability because you can stay away from the action and you have great crowd control with that chain lightning. Now, the Trickster. It's not fun to learn. I wouldn't really recommend it. If you want to play it, it can be decent. It has its perks, but the ability in use of combat is clunky. You really have to like sit in like the beach area or like in the vault and really get used to like the ability on how it works. I don't enjoy it. I think it's just, it has its place, but it's not a damaging ability. It's just you send off a decoy, which is handy if you can do it right, but it is not fun to learn. It also has its place because you can jump over gaps, so it is good for doing Sprite World. Unless that's all you want to do is rush dungeons, then it's like A tier for these guys because It's also a dagger class. It's got a decent range. The daggers surprisingly have like decent range, more range than the swords. Next we have the bard. Oh my gosh, the bard is my favorite. My favorite in the bow class, at least. It's not my favorite class in all. The bard, exceptional when in a party. When you're solo, it's great because it'll buff yourself. I think you get a defensive buff for most of the tiered loots you get. I'm not too sure about every single one of them, but you have decent range with a bow. You can get 3 shots or a single shot bow. Anyways, the rogue. This is another... It is a character better for rushing, like these two. It's a dagger class. It's honestly C tier. It's not that it's hard to... Well, it kind of is. High C tier. Because it's pretty simple, but getting the kind of rules around how its ability works. Like, I think if an enemy goes behind you, you lose the invisibility. It's really good for rushing because you can go invisible and rush past enemies. But other than that, that's really all. But again, as a new player, you're not really going to be rushing dungeons. But if you are trying to learn to rush, these are some of the better rushing classes. Next, we have another sword class, which is the warrior. On its own, the warrior is good. It would probably be great, but it does shine more in a group. You can solo pretty easily with this character because it's really, really tanky. Mostly because it's got that sword. It's a really short ranged weapon, like 3 to 4 tiles away from character, which is not far. The ability is better in a group. It's kind of like the bard. I think instead you inspire and boost attack damage, if I'm not mistaken. But it's good. Though I think my boyfriend might have a very different opinion on it, because he loves playing the warrior and one other class. Which, while we're on the topic, we might as well just throw knight right into good. It's very tanky. It is a short-ranged character, so it has to be tanky. I can say is my favorite character. It is so fun to play. But for new players, and also I think it's the last character you unlock. Also, learning the ability is not fun. You're probably gonna die a lot on Kensei. I know when I was learning Kensei, I died so much. So I got an egg while recording this video, so here I am hatching it. Next we have the priest. Ignore everything I say about the priest here. I am so wrong. Because I was playing and checking out some characters and being like, okay, what's the playability? And I went into being like, oh yeah, priest is bad, you're not going to do much damage. You know. And actually, priest is good. Okay? It should be up and good. It's good for solo play. Because you can heal quite a bit. And the ability does damage. Like, it's got a lot of survivability for a new player. Especially because you can be pretty far from the fight. Or you can be pretty close. There's no real reason to be close. Especially because you're pretty squishy. But the healing is huge. So ignore everything and ignore my placement of the priest because I've honestly changed my mind and I don't want to go back to re-record all of it because I'm so far into editing right now. It's not worth garbaging it. It's also like 10 at night right now. And this video goes up at 5 a.m. So I have less than 12 hours to finish editing, which I've got a lot to do. I'm like halfway through, as well as get it uploading with a description and thumbnail needs to get made. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a long night tonight. Next, we have the archer. You know, you got the bow and its ability shoots out one single high damage arrow, and it's got a long range. It's got a lot of range. So you're gonna be doing quite a bit of damage, especially staying far away from the main action. The only downside is if you miss all your ability shots, you're not doing much damage. And you're gonna have a lot harder time getting the good items. And Bard kind of has the same problem, but you gain a defensive buff. So it means you just take a little bit less damage. But yeah, the archer, it's good. It's not hard to learn unless you really struggle with finding where your mouse is, which I often lose my mouse. And I've tried all of the different cursors you can have, and I just lose them, so. Next is the Necromancer. Necromancer is our first, oh no, not our first staff class. We have our first staff class down here. This is a staff class. It's pretty much like a wand, but slightly different. It shoots 2, like, twisting shots, whereas the wand just shoots a single shot. So it is a little bit easier to hit. And its ability does damage and heals you and your party. So for that, it's got great survivability. It is God class because you can do damage and you can heal yourself. It's like a way better priest because you're doing damage and healing yourself. Next, the Wizard. Personally, I love Wizard. I think the Wizard is a great class to start with. I think it's super simple. It's super beginner friendly. You do quite a bit of damage on that spell, especially if you can spell bomb, aka just hit all the shots on one target. It can be a little bit tricky, but also is pretty straightforward. But even if you're getting like half, I'd say it's good. Next, we have the Huntress. I would say do not play. My first reaction is do not play this character. But I recently did play the Huntress just to refresh my memory. The ability is not that fun to learn. The ability does not shoot right away. It doesn't do damage right away. If you have a very fast moving enemy, you might really struggle to hit those traps. So for that, I wouldn't recommend it. Next, we have another Katana class. The Ninja. The Ninja's super fun. I think a lot of new players can have quite a bit of fun with it. It kind of has 2 abilities in one. If you hold down right click, which is default, the ability use. I know a lot of older players use spacebar because that's what it was set to when it was a flash game. But if you hold it down, you'll gain speedy and it'll just slowly consume your mana bar as you're speeding. So you can cover a lot of ground with Ninja, which is good. You can get quite a bit of bonus fame off of it. A lot quicker than you would any other class. It can be a little tricky balancing the two, especially if you quickly click. Sometimes you do gain speedy, which could end up killing you, depending which way you're traveling and stuff like that. So I'd say it takes a bit of learning. I'd throw it into good. It's like low good tier. Last but not least, we have the Assassin. The Assassin, I think the Assassin is the best dagger class. So I'm going to have to put it into great. It's also got a really good ability. It's got poison. So you throw a little potion of poison. It does a little area effect. And any enemies in that area get poisoned. It does some decent damage. And if they go invulnerable, it still hurts them. So you can do some really good damage. You hit them right before. There's a bit of learning about timing, but that's just going to come with getting to know the boss. Assassin is great because you got a decent range with that dagger. Anyways, that is the tier list. Let me know if you agree or disagree on, again, this is just my opinion. And if you play Realm of the Bad God, let me know in the comments which class is your favorite to play. Mine is definitely the Kensei. Probably closely followed by the Summoner and then the Sorcerer. So it is not biased.